Welcome back, everybody. It has been a while since I've last done a Bitcoin video, but this is going to be a quick video because it's fairly easy to see what's going on here. Last time we talked, we were somewhere around here, and we bottomed out around 37K. 36K was always in the sights. We went to 36,400, and then we bounced all the way back up to 40K. 40K ends up turning into 45K, and then we see breakdown back to in a lower high, or sorry, a higher low. As you can see, we're ascending with the orange line. Sorry, the orange line is connecting all the way down to, because we went down to 34, so we were somewhere over here. Said we're going to go from 36 to 39, and then possibly 39 to 42, and then possibly 42 to 45. We did all those things. I was pretty on point with shorting at 45. The triangle is the wedge is being shown here. It's pretty obvious. Let's remove a few things that we don't need that. We don't need this price point. We went past that. We went to 41, or we went to 42,000. I also want to point out, so we're in a large bullish ascending triangle where we have many multiples of higher lows happening, and we seem to have what looks like a flat top to create what's either you want to see as a triangle or a wedge. Because of this wick down from here, you can barely see it's green. The green volume bar is covering up. Because of this big wick down, it's a big buy up that happened from here to there, because we always had the possibility of going down to 33 or 34, which we did. As I called in the last videos, I've been calling in my Discord group. Look for the link below if you're not part of the group. There is a possibility that we could touch somewhere in between here. Again, that's why this line is here on the ascending triangle. It would just end up being a bigger ascending triangle where these wicks are just destroying late longs, early shorts to create liquidity. And all that liquidity ends up bringing us right back into this zone here. While we have the larger ascending triangle happening, we also have a smaller one happening right in between here from the red line, orange line, all the way up to the red line. We're ascending. We have a lot of action happening at right around between, looks like 39,500 and somewhere around 40K. 40K seems to be a very important level. We seem to be accumulating. We accumulated here on a bunch of higher highs and higher lows as we ascended, broke up to 45, 46, had a fake out handle, break back down, and we were back accumulating into these zones with a few moves back up to the supply zone at the top. So we have two bullish patterns happening at once. I like to stack the bullish patterns. When you can stack bullish patterns, you become bullish bias. If you can stack two or more bear patterns, you become bear bias. Right now, it's a lot of bullish bias. In my opinion, this is on the daily chart. We can continue to accumulate and squeeze within this triangle. You can probably bust out the Bollinger Bands, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot of bottom line touches happening. But again, this is to squeeze out the unfaithful or the uninitiated, the untrained in technical analysis. And by the time we're ready to go up, it goes back up. They buy here, it goes back down. They buy here, it goes back up until they're washed out with no money left. And then we make our third real attempt. I don't count. I mean, it's an attempt, but I really don't count that as an attempt. We'll have our third real attempt somewhere up here. If we can get above the yellow 100-day moving average, it looks like we're already having trouble there. So I'm trying to stay on the high time frames. We broke out above 39K, almost 40K earlier today. Looked very good. We had a hard pullback. It looks like we're staying within this zone. Here, we're going to just make it a rectangle. Yes, it's a triangle, but we're going to make it a rectangle. You can pull it up a little bit higher. But according to this wick, we're going to have to come down a little bit right there. We're staying in the zone, or if you want to look more on a lower time frame zone, then we're staying within this zone. Most of the accumulation action is happening within here. We're looking to break out above here, and I think we're going to break out with volume. I believe 41K is very possible. It's looking difficult for it to break above that. I think we're gonna, once we break this accumulation area, we are going to have to move up. The zone is going to have to move up, and we're going to have to start accumulating in here. We're going to have some possibly move up to 41, and we're going to have to accumulate here before a bigger breakout. And we're going to want to break out somewhere in the next few days over here. If that's where, in fact, where we're going. 618 is always the important level we want to reach. Most of the time, you hit 50, you can bet your money that on a bullish move, you're going to hit the 50% mark. 61% means there's some bullish bias, and even on a breakdown, we come back to the 50% and then accumulate and then continue back up. Ultimately, I'm going to go back to what I said before, mainly on a summary basis. This is a giant bearish wedge pattern, in my opinion. This is the Wyckoff setup. We had the upper thrust. We broke down to what looks like the support area here. We're reaccumulating here where the purple lines are, and then if we break 41, I anticipate 46, and then from 46 we have 51 as a possibility. We have a slight pullback, and then we possibly either have a lower high somewhere at 58K, or 60K, and then we have another major pullback, or we're going to just continue up in some bullish, in a bullish fashion. Maybe a black swan event causes this, not causes, events and news don't cause the charts to move. It's just an interpretation of what's going to happen in the charts anyways. And as I said in my last video, we'll have one last upper thrust over here. Upper thrust before distribution. We're in a distributive pattern. Distributive patterns usually bearish. But again, that distributive pattern could come all the way down, reaccumulate, and go back up. Depends on what the market wants. That's what I believe is going to happen. We're either going to go to 58.60 or we're going to go higher, 70, 74, 77, 84, 87, 90. But this could be the last move up before we finally make a move down and possibly retest 20K. But for now, that's on the high time. I mean, that's zoomed out. So it's still on the 1 day. But for now, we're going to accumulate in this zone for a while. So try not to get shaken out with high leverage. Play it safe. I do think we're going to see 41K in the next few days before a pullback. It would be nice to see 36 and get that out the way, 36,600, even 36,100 before we move back up. So those are the two possibilities. Keep all that in mind. I also that's it for Bitcoin. I also want to show you Waves for a minute. Waves is a Ukrainian token. A lot of support being given to monetary support being given to Ukraine. One way a lot of people are doing that is you can tell by the many hundreds of thousands of wallets that have been created on Waves recently. Waves it's a Ukrainian exchange, but and token is also heavily used by Russians, so maybe they're using that to send money back and forth to their cousins' families, because they're all families. It's like it's almost like Northern America fighting Southern America in the Civil War. They're family and they're related. The Ukrainians just hate Putin for good reason. But because of that, a lot of volume's coming in, a lot of action has happened, a lot of DeFi tokens are starting to connect themselves, all the big popular ones, AVAX, Phantom, Solana, FTX, they're all the big boys of the last bull run that made themselves in the last bull run are coming to Waves. So there is billions of dollars waiting to come in. To think that we're gonna hit this all-time high level and come back down, with all that said, it's a silly notion. Looking at the RSI, relative strength, even if we come up here, we can have, like we did here, we had lower highs on RSI, but we kept going higher. We could have something very similar happening there. But again, billions of dollars are going to have to come in for that to happen. Waves is actually, it's been around since 2016, 2015. They're way more mature than these other DeFi platforms. They've matured. They've been around for twice as long, but they have less of a reputation. But now is the time where um, all of the crypto community's money is coming into the Waves ecosystem, rightfully so. So we're going to see a lot of volume coming in, and honestly, we should see new highs eventually. We're on the log scale on the Binance chart. Somebody got lucky here, or somebody on the Binance, um, some Binance hacker went straight for Waves, and they bought it at 0.0005 cents. So they are rich right now. They are loving the war. They're rooting for the war, which is probably a bad thing. But they're very well off. I will do another separate analysis on waves. There's some things I see here, but ultimately, over the course of a month, 2 months, we should see a big breakout on waves. Honestly, let's give you a quick analysis from here, and then just to the 1618, the magical 1618 for overextensions. We are going to want to see the price of, where'd it go? Okay, this isn't good. What happened? Okay, let's go back to the settings. Something didn't happen the way it's supposed to. Oh, because I have it the wrong way. Let me reverse. We're gonna want to see. We could see somewhere under $50. It's very realistic. But again, that's gonna be another analysis. Keep your eye on waves. The world's money is coming to waves in support of Ukraine, so that's why it's been pumping for the past 3 weeks. Pretty much unstoppable. If you take a look at this chart here, well, it's been going straight vertical. Everything else has been going up and down, creating real patterns. So those are the two I wanted to show you. Keep your eye on Bitcoin for a touch to 41K and be wary. Waves, we'll see where it goes. Worst case, 22, possibly even worse than that, 18 before continuing up. And 49 is pretty much the target. So keep that in mind. Come back here when it happens. Hit that like button, subscribe. Say, yeah, you were right. I was pretty much right about everything I said in the last video for Bitcoin, Solana, AVAX. What was the other one I did? DYDX or DYXY, the US dollar index. Same things happening. We're continuing up, higher lows on RSI, and we could either see a lower high here and then a breakdown, or my ultimate guess is we continue higher during this war. During wars, the US dollar strengthens while the ruble is falling dramatically and losing strength. So keep all that in mind. Dollar up, Bitcoin and crypto down typically, but waves is very strong because the war is in Ukraine, and Ukraine is asking for the world's support, and that's one way to support them. All right, so if you have any questions, you know where to hit me up. All the links for all of my social media are below, and thanks for watching.